Hello and welcome to a Dungeon Defenders 2 video. In this video, I will be discussing the real way to become stronger in a Dungeon Defenders 2 game because this is something that I have noticed through experience, and you can call me out on that if you want. So in the background, first off, I'm basically doing a Chaos Tower 2. I finally was able to solo a Chaos Tower 2. Yeah, I'll be skipping also the build phases just so you don't have to see that in case you just want to see pure combat and all that kind of stuff. But on to the point. So aside from this particular building, the beginning, which is, I don't know, if you want to copy how I basically use my defenses and the strategy that I use, I know that it's effective now. I've seen it from other people, I'm not going to take credit for it, and it's actually very effective, so I just plan accordingly, and yeah, it actually helps out. So if you're thinking of soloing Chaos Tower 2, then yeah, well, not soloing, but just defending yourself against it, and yeah, you can actually use this video if you feel like it. So, how do you become stronger in Dungeon Defenders 2? So there are actually two things that actually help you become stronger in DD2, and that's basically the first thing is gear. Like seriously, number one is gear. That's top priority. And number two is essential levels. Now, essential levels will make you stronger in, let's say, a little bit. Like they give you some good, they increase your utility, support. They also increase maybe like how fast your turrets shoot, which is also effective. So yeah, you definitely want to go for that defense speed if you feel like it. If you want basically your turrets to basically or traps or whatever to basically attack faster, because faster attacking means a higher DPS or damage per second. So obviously that's a plus. You also want to increase as much of your critical chance as you can, because I have noticed while I was playing with the Gun Witch that critical chances, with an increased critical chance and a decent damage, critical damage, you can pretty much pile up some huge numbers. So it's always good to, like, the bigger the numbers, the better. Yeah. So as far as becoming stronger, obviously you would think ascension levels would make you strong enough, right? And obviously you would go with the basic strategy. You would go with one very, very basic logic, and that is you play Chaos Tower 1, you farm for good gear. You would once you reach to the very peak, once you like reach the peak of Chaos Tower 1 gear, like there's no more gear to, like, to make you better. You have like literally like full legendary gear or whatever. Like you are to the point where you can farm Chaos Tower 1s with no practical difficulty. You can practically solo them, and you obviously want those. You want a Chaos Tower 2 shard. You want to like continue to the next Chaos Tower and get some shards, because obviously each shards have a different set of different like bonuses for each hero, and obviously you're definitely gonna want that. And I do recommend it because shards do increase your heroes. They do give heroes like really good upgrades, and they're always useful to to use. So you would assume that, okay, now I can easily farm Chaos Tower 2, Chaos Tower 1, and I'm ready to go to Chaos Tower 2, right? Well, apparently that's wrong. There is no way. I have tried many times, and I literally have tried with like the best gear for Chaos Tower 1. All the best gear, I was literally up to like what, Ascension level 100 about, and I was still trying. And no matter how many times I would try, this is of course soloing, no matter how many times I would try, I could never ever defeat Chaos Tower 2. And this is of course, I wasn't using any traps, obviously, because they're kind of useless. And I was basically just using barricades, and I was using blockades, and like turrets. But the thing is, the turrets didn't do enough damage to actually make a difference, and the blockades were basically being annihilated very quickly. So I think at the time I had like what, 800, maybe I think maybe 800 something thousand like health on my blockades. I was using the skeletal orcs at the time, so I was, I guess, good. Like I never had any problems with Chaos Tower 1. In fact, it came to a point where I was farming it super easy. Unfortunately, that didn't seem to be the case when it came to Chaos Tower 2. You would think that, oh yeah, I can now do Chaos Tower 1's easy, that means I'm ready for Chaos Tower 2. Apparently that's very wrong. You cannot actually do that. You cannot continue to the next level. The way I did it, and you'll actually see me, this is actually one of the first tryouts I did, in the background using the gun witch after I unlocked her, I don't know, maybe a few days ago. And also like using my the Squire's defenses, which seem to be actually doing very well, and of course the Skeletal Orcs, which have the highest health among my blockades. So basically, the way I became stronger is essentially, well, I got carried. I basically joined like higher level Chaos Towers from Chaos Tower 3 to Chaos Tower 4. I joined in on groups with other people who were severely higher level than me. Like they were like what, 300 plus, 200 Ascension level plus, with gear that's definitely probably Chaos Tower 6 to 7, most likely. So I joined those guys. I basically helped out by either repairing anything that needed repairing or upgrading in order to help them get through the match faster. And of course also giving them the mana to begin with, so that they can build their defenses as best as possible, since their defenses were better than mine. And yeah, as we were mowing down through the levels and defeating bosses and completing the levels, I got Chaos Tower shards 3 and 4, as well as gear for Chaos Tower 3 gear and 4 gear, which made me, of course, significantly stronger for Chaos Tower 2. And that's pretty much how I did it. That's literally, I found it that this is the only way. If you're gonna solo, that's literally the only way to actually beat the next Chaos Tower. You cannot continue. I have not seen a video where a person has literally just started and actually began like Chaos Tower 1, grinded to the point where he reached like the best gear for Chaos Tower 1, and actually was able to like go to Chaos Tower 2 and actually beat it. Like seriously, there is no way. I've tried so many times. And I can honestly say, with no embarrassment, I can honestly say I failed every time. And yeah, the only way to actually beat the next Chaos Tower is literally to acquire gear that's stronger of that Chaos Tower. And the only way to do that is to basically join another person's game, is to basically have another player carry you. That's literally the only way that I have found. Like right now, my characters are doing like some pretty good damage. They have some pretty good stats. I have some pretty good like shards equipped on them, which are very useful and helpful. And yeah, I wasn't able to get them on my own. If I were to solo, I would probably never be able to. I'd probably reach like what, Ascension level of 500 and still be like what, Chaos Tower 2 maybe, like just barely started at Chaos Tower 2. And yeah, so if you really want to like continue, obviously there is no gain when it comes to Defender medals. Defender medals, I found that the best way to farm Defender medals is either through dailies, weeklies, and or yeah, basically doing specific, like just doing the first Chaos Tower as quickly as possible, or in incursions as quickly as possible. So yeah, when it comes to Defender medals, even on higher Chaos Towers, I've said this before, the higher the Chaos Tower, it doesn't really matter what level the Chaos Tower is, you always gain 25 Defender medals, which will be decreased, or which will basically be decreased depending on how many waves you were there to begin with. So for example, there's always 5 waves, and if you join, for example, a public game and going to like wave, I don't know, if they're like in wave 2 or 3, the chances are you'll get like what, 20, 24, 21 Defender medals, because you joined later on in the game. So you actually gain Defender medals by the waves. So I'm guessing even if you fail the waves, you still get Defender medals, depending on that specific wave. But yeah, the only way to actually be able to progress to the next Defender level is to literally become stronger. So not become stronger, acquire better gear, like acquire gear of the previous Chaos Tower, or at least if you're going to do it, or the way I see it is you join into another person's game. You basically join the next Chaos Tower that you're going to do, join another person who is obviously a lot stronger, and just have him kill everything, and have his defenses wreck everything, while you just collect the gear and, you know, become stronger. Basically acquire gear of that particular tower, and eventually, as you acquire new gear for both your defenses as well as your hero, you will become strong enough with the gear of that particular tower, and you'll hopefully be able to like finally be able to do everything by yourself. So that's literally the only way that I've seen it. And the way I see it, the best strategy for some of you who may, I don't know, if you feel like it, like literally, since you can basically equip any Chaos Tower level gear, no matter what Chaos Tower it is, as long as you're level 50, you can equip it. Which means that as soon as you finish the game, literally as soon as you finish the campaign, you become level 50, you start on ascension levels. Like seriously, if you have someone, if you have a good friend who is already like Chaos Tower 7 or something, you could literally have him carry you and gain Chaos Tower 7 gear, and that literally would what? That will make you, since Chaos Tower 7 is now the highest level gear that you can get, is the highest Chaos Tower, you will probably become strong enough to be able to farm pretty much every other Chaos Tower on your own. So yeah, that's literally another way you can do it, and it works. And yeah, I guess if you basically, even if you like, even if you, if I guess if you go to like Chaos Tower, whatever, basically all you have to do is go to whatever Chaos Tower you want to do, and uh, basically you as you host the game or something, if you don't find someone who's already playing, just host the game, and then write, like, you basically write on the text like needing help for carrying someone to basically to carry you, and a good player who can easily solo this particular Chaos Tower. And as you begin the level, you basically just you acquire the green mana, you give it to him, have him to build the defenses so that you can actually easily win, help out by either repairing them or upgrading them after each wave, and that's pretty much it. You can pretty much all you have to do is basically go around, maybe help out if you think you can, do some damage, or I don't know, if you're like a healer or something, or support, or you can focus on maybe on flying enemies or something. And essentially that's all you have to do, and then basically collect all the gear from either fallen bosses, random enemies who die and drop gear, and from the end of the game basically. And that's pretty much how you do. You also gain ascension levels. You'll gain faster ascension levels, which of course will make you gradually a little stronger. And you'll also be acquiring the gear that's basically for the next tower, which is, yeah, I found that's basically the most efficient and the quickest way to get higher level gear without having to without having to spend hours on grinding the best gear for that particular tower. If anything, you could probably, as soon as, like I said, you can finish the campaign, find someone to like carry you on Chaos Tower 7, if there is someone who can do that, and literally that's pretty much it. You acquire the gear for Chaos Tower 7, and I would guess that gear will make you strong enough for every other Chaos Tower. So that's pretty much it. All you have to do after that is basically grind for either gold or defender medals and ascension levels and shards, and yeah, and that's pretty much how I was able to do it. Literally, basically all I did was join another person's public game, and if I saw that there was someone that was really like significantly higher level in the game, then basically what I would do is I just help out, give him the mana, like I said, and either upgrade or repair his defenses, and yeah, I'll just be there for support. I'll be there for helping. And literally there are times where I would just sit there managing my inventory as quickly as I could, and when the game begins, I'll literally just be sitting there just watching, collecting the mana if necessary to like repair or upgrade, or basically just do absolutely nothing because I don't really need to. Like literally even the guys themselves don't really need to do anything. Their defenses pretty much wreck everything so quickly that you don't really have to do anything. Not even they have to do anything. And yeah, that's pretty much how I did it. And yeah, after a few games, maybe like, I don't know what, maybe 2 to 3 days worth of games, basically after I acquired the Gunwitch, which is interesting, because I essentially acquired the Gunwitch for that sole purpose, to basically join other people's games whenever I feel like, just joining up and helping out, or, maybe hopefully find someone who can like help me out getting better gear and stuff. And I would have the Gunwitch because essentially the Gunwitch is the one character that I have that is just pure DPS. She focuses on supporting and dealing damage, and on top of that, she doesn't have any defenses, because right now the way I have my build set up is I use the Abyssal Lord and the Drat a lot, and both of them have modes that are basically a lot beneficial when you have defenses. Obviously, like the Abyssal Lord has his ultimate, which can only be used on his own defenses, and the Drat's corruption form benefits a lot, power-ups her defenses a lot. So it would be a waste to not have her defenses. And when I'm joining another person's game, they might be using the Squire's defenses. They might be using defenses that of a class that I don't have, And yeah, I don't have any. Basically, I won't be able to use my character to the best of his capabilities. So what I did is I just used the gun witch to basically just deal raw damage, and basically just help out in basically in the other person's defenses, and that's pretty much it. So that's why I chose the gun witch. And as I was playing with her, I just started joining other people's games. I noticed people were playing Chaos Towers that are significantly higher than the ones that I do, and I joined their games. And as I joined their games, I acquired, as we were doing the games, going through the waves, they were basically farming for shards. And yeah, I was just, helping out, repairing, upgrading, like I said, once more. And yeah, just readying up as quickly as possible so, they would get through the waves quickly enough. Because they get through the waves so quickly that they just want to go to the next wave. They just want to complete the game as quickly as possible. So readying up as quickly as possible is very useful. Very helpful for them. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did. And until I was farming, grinding for gold, not gold, grinding for gear and stuff, and until to the point where I was able to acquire good gear enough to basically manage to solo Chaos Tower 2. So I can easily farm now Chaos Tower 2, I guess. Now I will point out that this particular level that I'm playing, which is the Ramparts, is the easiest level that I have seen so far. I have literally beat this level with the Dryad and her defenses, and of course the Abyssal Lord's defenses a little bit, once before, while I was still not that higher level geared. And of course this was like it still was a bit challenging. So this is basically also the easiest level to do, but I have to say that I was wrecking it quite easily, and enemies were really dying super easy. So yeah, if you want an easy level to start on your Chaos Tower, yeah, this would be a very good level. And literally, if you want to get better gear and become good at a certain Chaos Tower, literally all you have to do is join another person's game who's playing a Chaos Tower that's higher level. So yeah, that's literally the real way how to become stronger. Because if you're doing it like the proper way, doing it solo and trying to acquire the best gear for Chaos Tower 1 and then go to Chaos Tower 2, the chances are you won't be able to. Until you reach maybe Ascension level 500, literally I don't see how you could do that. If you could do that, if you have been able to do that, then wow, I'm impressed, seriously impressed. But I wasn't able to do that, and I just found this to be the alternative route, which was not only easier, not only faster, but also effective, So yeah, that's how I did it. So yeah, this is how I chose to acquire my new gear. This is how I was able to finally, after completing the main campaign, able to to beat the Chaos Tower 2. And obviously I would go to Chaos Tower 6 or 5 or so, find someone to carry me in a public game, and start going Chaos Tower 3. Maybe by then I'll be strong enough to go through all the Chaos Towers up to the level that I am. So yeah. Yeah, that's how it actually works, and I have found that it actually works a lot better than just doing it by yourself all the time. So yeah, a few public games, I guess it is beneficial, and it's not like people are good. I can actually say that people are helpful and good, so that's always a good thing. So yeah, that's my video. I'd like to thank you for watching, if you were watching. Stay cool, and I guess I'll see you in another video. Bye!